Welcome back to Wedding Mayhem, everybody. And Shannon has jumped in again on an episode. I was going to say, how are you? But I've only seen you about 5 minutes ago.
I'm the same as I was 5 minutes
telling
ago.
me I've got older legs as well. You know.
I said lovely. I promise. I said lovely. She does. Like, her figure is impeccable. Like, it's amazing.
Impeccable.
Impeccable? Is that a good word?
I don't know.
Is that a good word?
It's all right. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So welcome back, everybody. A massive thank you to everybody that's messaging us in, like your questions. I'm putting the polls out there, and you're not disappointing. You're coming through thick and fast. You did. I don't know whether you've seen the episode that went out just last week, but we had a massive response back from the cake cutting at venues saga. Did you see it?
I did. It was amazing.
It was gone mental. So lots of you were not aware that some, and I say some, not all, venues will charge you for cutting your cake. And this is cake, your wedding cake that they take away and they go and cut it in the kitchen and then they bring it out for your guests to eat. It's had a massive impact. Obviously, people are asking about, how much it will charge, and anywhere from, I'm hearing £1 to £10 to £5 to £3. I haven't seen anything over £10, but if you are being charged, do let us know. We're not saying that this is wrong for venues to do it, but we're just thinking it's a bit of a slap in the face that you're spending thousands of pounds on your venue for such a small charge that could be buried within that charge, then to be, because it's that feeling that you're oh god, this is another thing.
I know, and it's such it's such an easy thing. So I agree with that. It's like
and I get it from the venue side. So before you venues come at us, we get it, we do get it. You are paying somebody to do that, but that person's working there anyway. You haven't employed that person to actually be the cake cutting person. And I know it is taking them away from what they're doing. But it's not that difficult to cut a cake.
I agree.
They're going to shout at me now. But hide that charge somewhere else. It can be distributed, can't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes sense though as well. Like you're saying, it's not an additional fee to pay because they're expensive. Like everything.
Yeah. Well, we had the
it's something so simple.
Yeah, we had the lady that trains wedding venues, Kelly, on ages ago, and she's saying the same thing, to the venues about their chairs. This chair is an extra £1, and we're being charged an extra £1 for chairs. Please hide it.
Yeah, hide it in the bill somewhere.
Yeah,
so don't make it a different thing. It's that
feeling that venues are being greedy, and I get it. It is charges you're hiring, and it's costing you an extra £1.
Yeah.
But we don't need to see that. I don't think.
I agree. I agree with that.
Or get your cake people to pre-cut your cake. So have your dummy cakes and then your cutting cake, and then have a tray of cake that you can just take to your venue that they can just put out.
But it's much more simple.
And venues do not charge to be putting that tray of cake out, please. So that was just a roundup, but thank you so much for all those messages, and so many of you were not aware of this charge, and going back to your venues asking, it wasn't a given, and you are being charged, and some venues out there are not charging, so thank you, venues that are not charging. So today's episode is going to be about hair loss and wigs and stuff like that. And you've been through the mill with your cancer and stuff like that, so who better to talk us through it is you. Essentially,
I guess, like, hair is, like I said on I think the first podcast, it's what makes us feel like women, it's our identity, it makes us feel beautiful, and without it, it's you feel exposed and vulnerable.
Very vulnerable.
Very vulnerable, and so it's almost like your security blanket, a wig, because you're kind of giving yourself back what you had prior to hair loss. I lost all my hair.
Did you?
Yeah, and
going back to you again, how quick from treatment did you lose your hair?
I had my first round of chemo whilst I was pregnant with my son. So that was at 30 weeks, 31. I always get these mixed up because it's such a blur to me, but I think it was 30 weeks.
I still can't believe that this happened.
I know, and I didn't have a choice, is the thing. It was just all kind of like put upon me, and it was like, if you don't have chemo now, you're going to pass away, which would mean then my son would pass away. So I went
choice.
into fight mode there. It was just, I need to just, the blinkers on like a horse, go for it. I wanted my son to be okay.
Yeah.
Like that was my main concern. My main priority was my son. So yeah, I had my first round of chemo on Halloween, of all days.
No way.
Halloween. And there was little pumpkin. Do you know what? There was like pumpkins. There was nice decorations in the hospital. But you know what? I just kept thinking, oh my God, like, it's all just like a surreal thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So Halloween. I'll never forget that. Taking trick or treat to a different
level, definitely.
But yeah, no. So I had my first round, and then I had my C-section.
Yeah.
So I had my son a week after that round of chemo.
Right. Okay.
So he was obviously born 2 months early. Then 4 days later, after my C-section, I went back for my second round of chemo, which is like 5 days. It was during that round that my hair started it started thinning on after the first round.
Did it?
Slowly.
Is that normal? Or?
Yeah, definitely. With the kind of chemo I've got, it's definitely normal. But after the second round, it was like, I've got a photo on my phone. I lost the hair from the sides.
Right. You have a Mohican.
I had a Mohican, and I held on to that.
Trendy.
It kind of was, and I kind of was vibing it. Do you know?
Yeah.
But like I said on the first podcast, hair to me, as much as I cared about my hair, I did spend a fortune getting my extensions put in it and everything. It'll grow back.
Yeah.
You know, and it was more important fighting for your life. You know, that was more important in my
Priorities
son's life
first.
than an aesthetic issue. However, it's still it's still not nice to see it happen. It's almost like your body's given up, and it's just
Well, this is it. You're decaying. You know.
Exactly. And that's hard to see. You know, so I lost it. Held on to the Mohican as long as I possibly could.
I would have coloured it.
I wish I did, but then, and you know, I thought, I'm going to have to shave it off now, it's time. And it's like out with the old, in with the new.
Right.
This is the way I saw it.
You have to embrace it, don't you? I think mentally embrace it.
I saw it as a cleanse, though, as like I'm casting all that negative energy and almost like illness away with the hair.
Yeah.
You know, so I've seen it as symbolic.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wigs, I just, I got given wigs from NHS, and then I bought my own, and I tried all the different colours, you know, pink, blue, red. And this is a ponytail. So this is now, I have had to chop it because it was starting to look like rat's tails. It's synthetic.
Yeah.
So I get this from so online.
We're going to talk about that because we have got questions and stuff like that. But you know, hair is important.
It is.
To women, it's it gives them confidence. I know that if my hair's a different colour, I went for a blonde stage. Everybody loved it, but I didn't feel like me. I couldn't. The person in the mirror, even looking at previous shows, that was not me. Yeah. And the moment that it went back to the darker,
you felt like
that is connection as well.
Yeah, and it makes you like it just gives you that kind of extra bit of security, I guess, in yourself and confidence. I think that's because it's hard because you go like bald, do you know what I mean? And that's really hard to adapt to because we've never seen ourselves bald.
Do you think it's better to be fully bald than to be partially? So I've suffered with alopecia. My mum suffered really, really bad. Lauren, who was my previous co-host, had suffered with it as well. And you lose your hair in childbirth, as and
hormones
and I've definitely seen my hair thinning through menopause and fighting back to get it back. And I'm at a position now where it is.
Your hair's great.
I am. Yeah, I'm in love with my hair now. But a couple of months ago, I wasn't, and it did make me. It did bring me down.
Impacts you.
But mentally. Is it better to be fully bald than it is to have just scraps of hair and thinning hair?
I each to their own, I would say, but I would say personally I would say just bald because it, and embrace it as well. I think bald's gorgeous, and do you know what it does? It focuses right on your face as well. And I think that, do you know what I mean? So and it's captivating. I think a lot of people think
you're so right actually thinking about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think because the hair frames the face and all that, but without it, you're still beautiful.
Getting married, I think, is hyper focuses on aesthetics, because it's our appearances.
Yeah, makeup, hair.
We all know that we've got millions of photos on our camera reel, but we can delete them. They can be put over here and forgotten. But at the end of the wedding, we are always going to have a photograph of ourselves on the big day and in people's homes, especially family and stuff like that.
Exactly. So you want it to be. You want to feel the best and look the best, you know, and because it's always
a lot of pressure, isn't it?
It is. It's the biggest day to have as well. So, I mean, if they've lost their hair and they're getting married, I think there are beautiful wigs on the internet. If that would make them feel more comfortable, do you know what I mean? I'm always an advocate for just to keep it off, you know, just embrace the baldness. It's beautiful, but I get why, because I've been there and I wore wigs for so long, you know.
I think if I've got a few questions here to ask you. If you're okay for me to ask?
Yeah, of course.
Did wigs help you feel more like yourself during treatment, or did you feel like you were stepping into a new identity?
Actually, that's a really good question. I think a mixture of both, to be honest, because the wigs give me that feeling that I was what I was before cancer. So it gave me that feeling that I've not lost anything. I've still got my hair, you know, even though it was a wig. But it also let me experiment with different styles and colours. And I think that's what brought that kind of new identity as well. And I was kind of really liking just trying different styles and things and to see what I felt. And one day I woke up and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go pink. And I loved it, and I felt great.
You had pink on the show, don't you?
I did,
so you guys that don't know, you were actually on Love Triangle UK.
Yes, I was.
And we keep talking about the show, and I'm like, going, what show?
Yeah, Love Triangle
You're on the show.
I'm going to say many moons ago, but just last year.
It's mad, isn't it?
I know. But yeah, I did wear a pink wig on that show. But I've had blue, I've had red, I've had blonde. My favourite wig was my ombre blonde, because that was kind of close to what I had initially before I lost my hair. So I guess in that sense, that gave me back that comfort of what I looked like and felt like before I had chemo.
How did that feel, you know, putting on a wig that was near your own hair colour? Was it like nothing had happened, or was it a mask? Or
do you know what? Like, it kind of just felt, it didn't really feel different. I felt just like the same, but also less maintenance. Because it's like, I don't need to go and wash my hair, dry it. You just shove it on and out you go. Do you know, but the issue is if it's not glued down properly.
Yeah, that is on my list of questions as well.
I've got photos, let me tell you. Yeah, there's a photo of me and my cousin on Christmas Day, or it's like before Christmas. My wig was sitting right back here.
So this would be me. A few Prosecco's down and I'll be like, you know.
No one told me. My mum was taking photos like, oh, look at you girls. And I looked at it back, I was like, Mum, my wig's like on the back of my head. I was like, could no one notice my wig was like, not a 4 head, I had like a 5 head, a 6 head. I was like, Mum, you could have told me.
So how do you learn to you know, where do you start looking for the right wig?
Personally, I had to look online and I was just kind of reading reviews. I think that's the best thing to do.
Did you not get help?
I did from the NHS give me, I think they paid for one wig for me. It was good. It was like really light blonde and it had some pink through it, but it didn't feel like me. Again, because it was so like kind of bleach blonde, it made me like even more anemic and washed out.
You were pale.
Very pale. And obviously...
You're very poorly.
Yeah, and losing blood. I've had about, I think, 60 bags of people's blood. I've had 60 blood transfusions.
You could have my blood in your veins. Oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
Oh, positive? What are you?
I have no idea. Red.
Red. Yeah, like... what was I saying again? I totally forgot.
Wigs, where do you find them?
So online, I just kind of went online. I looked at videos on TikTok, really, because girls do reviews, and I think I actually found that really helpful because they're taking it out, they're telling you what colours they've got, they're trying it on.
Where do you? Because I went in on my research and gone, right, okay, I'm looking for a wig, and it was a minefield of different materials. Yeah,
exactly, real hair, which you could be looking at anywhere from 500 up to like even 2,000.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean? Like for a real hair wigs, and that's based on length and thickness and weight. So I mean, not everyone that's going to treatment, they're not working.
Yeah.
How can they afford a real hair wig? It's difficult. This is why the option of synthetic or even mixed fibres is an option, and they're cheaper.
And mixed fibres is real hair?
It's a blend, of some human
Okay.
hair and synthetic, so it lasts longer than what, like, obviously a synthetic wig would.
Okay. How long do wigs last?
It really differs. If it's a real wig, it will last, I would assume, for years, to be honest. Synthetic, it's really hard to upkeep. Like, to be honest, you could be looking at maybe a month and then you have to renew it. Or even 2 months. But, you know, it gets tangled and it starts going just kind of that matted. Yeah. And so it's difficult in that way. So I think, for me, I want to come away from I don't wear wigs anymore.
No.
I wear my ponytail.
You have beautiful curly hair.
I do, and I don't know why I don't just
embrace it. Next time you come in, curly hair.
I will. I feel like just taking it off now. But I mean, for me, I just missed the length. I think that's what made me feel like me again.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I kind of felt a bit Marilyn Monroe with the chemo curls.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nice. You I think you adapt, so you get used to it. Whereas initially it's a shock. Do you know what I mean? It's a shock to the system.
Because you weren't naturally curly before.
No.
It is chemo that turns the hair curly.
Yeah. That's why they call it chemo curls.
One of my brides, in fact, this is a funny story. We're not a funny story, but it's a funny story. But she was bridesmaid for her sister, and her sister basically ordered their bridesmaids' dresses down one size from what they were and put them all on diets. It was like it was a joke. They all said, she said, right, whatever size they are, one size down in front of them, they're all going on a diet. And none of them lost weight. We ended up taking out all the dresses, apart from her sister, who lost loads of weight. And even after the wedding, continued to lose weight. So her sister said, you can stop the diet now. You're going the other way.
Oh,
and then they suddenly thought, actually, I'm not dieting. So they got her in, and she had cancer, and because she was the next one to get married, she went, no, that way, so I can now get married. And so she come in, she found a dress but didn't buy it, got diagnosed with cancer, and then came in, I think 9 months, 10 months later, and she lost all her hair, but her hair was so curly.
When it grew
back, like ringlets.
Oh, I know. I think it's something like it damages the hair follicles or something. So
does it go back?
Yeah. So this is why you just keep getting it trimmed, essentially.
Right. Okay.
Because I've obviously got my ponytail. If I took it out, like, this is kind of just wavy, but it's just the bottoms that are now super curly.
Okay.
Because it's damaged. The hair follicles have been damaged because of the chemo. So it's like that fresh hair coming through. So it's going to be kind of different because it's had a damaged follicle.
How long did it take for your hair to come back?
I lost my eyebrows, eyelashes, and my hair. You know, so all my body hair, everything. So my hair started growing back, so it's like peach fuzz. After it was in between the last round of chemo. I had pomace, 7 rounds, just really intense chemo, and then in between that and my stem cell transplant, because I had 2 of them. My hair was at that kind of like fuzzy, like kiwi or peach. Then had my stem cell transplant and all shed again. Right. So I was like, I would say maybe like a good 6 months, and I started to see like
proper hair coming through.
Like proper hair.
Because that's again for any you ladies and gents. Planning the wedding. This is something to consider. In the run up that maybe a wig is an option. Yeah, exactly. If you are still going through chemo, or you're waiting for
headscarf as well.
Headscarf, coming through.
But there is options, and I think I like I said, I like looking online and looking at videos and just watching tutorials, and the girls are speaking about it and reviewing it. I think that's quite helpful, because then you're not buying something that doesn't look as the image appears.
Yeah, so it's real life. So that's how you would research.
This is how I would do it. And Etsy, I go on Etsy and just have a look. So, but I would say videos, because I'm visually seeing it and I'm reading reviews. So I think then I feel confident that wig should be okay.
Well, you're just having to learn a new skill, aren't you?
Yeah, but you've got to learn to cut it, install it.
So you're having to cut the hair as well?
Unless it's unless the lace is pre-cut, which it can come. Right. Sometimes it doesn't, so you've got to get your wig cut.
So what's the lace? Is that the bit underneath? Talk us through what a wig is.
Yeah, so, essentially wig's just like either synthetic or mixed or human hair, but it's kind of like, how do you explain it? It's like mesh. If
mesh, yeah.
Like, so the whole kind of
net.
Net, that's net. And then there's like this bit at the front that's still net, so it can come down. So what you're meant to do is cut it in little zigzags so it blends and it looks like your real hairline.
Right.
So it blends in. You could put your foundation over it, you know, so
Okay.
it blends with your skin. So you can kind of like pluck it and make it look like baby hairs and make it look more real.
Yeah.
But then you've got to go through that whole process of like gluing, sticking it down, and it, you know, it's a hard process to do it yourself if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like it took me ages to figure it out, but I think once you get the hang of it,
And you're having to do this on your own as well,
yeah,
aren't you?
but you get different head sizes. So wigs are different cap sizes
Right,
too.
okay, talk us about...
Oh my God, I bought a wig that was like, I don't know, it was made for like the BFG. It was like...
Probably mine.
It was
Flashing, no,
flashing
you're
to
right.
the public. I do apologise. But yeah, like literally this all my wigs normally fit like a glove, right?
Yeah.
And it was great and it was just so easy, and sometimes you get glueless wigs. So they just kind of just will go on your head. And you know you're fine. Wig cap on, that you don't really need any glue. But this wig I bought, it was beautiful too, but it was huge. It was like I was wearing a bag on my head. And I was like, how the hell am I going to glue this?
So do we have to like measure the circumference of our head before we buy something?
I think you get like small, medium and large.
Okay.
You know, but I didn't. I just bought
trial
it
and
for the
error.
best. Yeah, trial and error. But this is the only wig that I felt wasn't the right size. Do you know? So that's good out of a bunch of wigs I've had. Then that it just meant that the install of it was much more difficult and complex, because it was like trying to get to set. I had to make sure the lace was definitely stuck down, and because it was so big, it would bunch up again. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
And we're gluing these on. What if you're allergic to the glue? Is there different kinds of glue, or?
I'm sure you do get different.
Okay.
Yeah, you get like lace glue, and I personally used was it the hairspray?
Okay.
Yeah, I just used it. Is it got to be glued or whatever?
Yes.
I used that hairspray. That was it. So wig cap on, hairsprayed along the front of the wig cap.
Yeah.
And hairsprayed underneath the front of the lace of the wig.
Yeah.
And then I would just kind of, you know, press it down and install it in that way.
Brilliant tip.
Yeah.
Any other tips?
I can't really think.
Put you on the spot.
No, but I would say that hairspray is a lifesaver for if you're wanting to install wigs.
If you were designing wigs yourself, what would you change?
I think sometimes the comfort of the inside of them.
Yeah.
Because
I imagine they're itchy on bare skin.
I would probably adapt it in that way.
I literally would be scratching my head all day.
It is itchy.
I could have nits.
It can be. And you know what is the clips?
Can you still get nits in a wig?
I don't think so. I mean...
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you... I don't know. I don't think so, though. Now you've got me thinking.
Sorry, that is my brain working.
I think, for me, I think I personally was in a lot of pain with some wigs. And I don't know if it was the wig.
What kind of pain?
A lot of pain. It was like intense headache, but also like...
Because I can't wear hairbands.
That's it. No, but this is
the same thing?
Yes.
Right.
It was the wig caps I was wearing.
It's like glasses. I can't... Anything that goes here.
That's it. Me too. Me too. Same. I literally was just thinking of the other day. I had to take my glasses off. I was like, oh my God, the back of my ears and down my neck.
Yeah.
Same thing with the wig cap.
Okay.
So I think I got a too tight wig cap, put it on.
Okay.
I wore the wig all day. I was in loads of pain. Actually 9 out of 10 pain. It was that bad. And then just taking it off, it felt the relief instantly. But it was sore. It was like bruised. Like my whole head was like tight and bruised. So I think maybe comfort could be something they adapt a bit better into that. And they've got the jaggy clips inside of it. And if someone's not wearing a wig cap, that's going to be scratching. Is
that the ones that go in and you clip it?
That's right.
You get those hair extensions. Yeah. I had those because I literally was going through hair loss at our wedding, and just to pad it out a bit, then they used the clips and they went up, and then you just then clip them. Is that the same sort of thing?
I think it's similar to that. Yeah.
That lock. They lock.
No, they don't lock though. These are just like teeth. It's just jaggy teeth.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, I've had a few like instances where I've like scratched.
Should you not take those out?
I don't know.
Yes, I think you should be taking those out. You're the expert. You're supposed to be telling me.
God, I'm not. Honestly, when you look back at some of the wig photos.
One of my questions is have you had any mishaps or funny stories?
With the wigs?
Yeah.
Absolutely. On a night out.
Oh, on a night. Tell us about a night out.
A night out.
Because you're dating as well, so.
Yeah, well, at this point, I mean, I wasn't dating.
No.
I was, but I was out with my friend Sarah and my cousin Yana, and we were just in like Weatherspoons having a few drinks too many, should we say.
Yeah.
This group of guys were just sitting at the table next to us, just chilling. They were down for work or something. Before you know it, I was so drunk, I took my wig off, was swinging it around like, and it was a blue wig as well, and I just took it off, I was like swinging it around, and then this guy ended up walking away with it. He left wearing my wig. He had it on his head. And I was like, can I have my wig back? I was like, but you know what? My hair didn't even look nice because I glued it down, and so it was like.
So you had hair.
I had hair, but I looked like a drowned dog, like a damp dog or something. Like my head, it was so a greasy head, and I was just like, I need my wig back. You know what I mean? So eventually I came back with it, but yeah, I did that.
Oh my God!
Swinging it about.
Oh my God!
Obviously, I have gone out with my wig being too far back, so it's like I've got a major receding hairline, and it's been sat back there. You can see my natural hair through it, and I'm just like, does no one actually want to tell me that? Like,
but is there like this, people don't like to point out things.
No, but I wish they would sometimes.
But particularly with like hair loss and stuff like that. But
yeah, it became. I think that was the hard bit. It was like just adjusting it to get it sitting right, you know.
And what about sort of like styling and stuff like that?
This is actually...
Because this is something that... This is not your hair, so we all know... We can all do our hair without,
I found this bit the most challenging.
Oh, really?
Yes. This bit I found really difficult and annoying, to be honest. It was... Because I didn't buy real hair wigs.
Right.
I did get one blend of human hair and synthetic, but majority of mine were synthetic. You can use straighteners on them at low heat, I believe, of what I've read. You can curl them at low heat, but through my own kind of research, I found that a steamer. You can steam your wigs and restore them back to like a good state.
What, like the steamer?
Like
I've got?
Yeah, that you helped me.
Clothes steamer, yeah.
Help sort of my crisp packet blazer.
She had just got off a plane.
I did, but you were a lifesaver, thank you. But yeah, like people are using the hand steamers on the wig, so if they become ratty, synthetic.
What a fantastic
go
tip.
straight and silky smooth. It looks silky smooth from the steam, so they can brush it and restore them.
Oh my God.
Everyone that throws them out doesn't realise you can actually restore a mangled, like when it's all like tangled, you can restore it.
Yeah.
Back to like what it was bought like.
You're just going to save people loads of money.
I know.
So, but I would worry that I would like singe the hair or burn it.
I think I never once straightened or curled the synthetic. I did steam it though, and it made it that shiny way, and it wasn't tuggy anymore. I was like, well, that's amazing. But I think even if you got that in writing when you bought a wig, like that would save a lot of people money as well, because I didn't know about that.
Well, they don't want to tell you, do they?
No, of course they don't.
This is why you're here.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, you can do it. But yeah, like literally, I think I've bought. I don't even want to say. I think I'm probably their best customer.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're poorly.
Yeah.
You're not working.
Yeah.
And you're having to buy the wigs. So you're not having to buy, but you can go without them. But for our own sanity,
it's hard. It's exactly. It's difficult. I feel like one thing I would maybe change is on the NHS. They do provide which is amazing, and I was really thankful that they give me a wig. My wig was synthetic.
Did you get to choose your wig?
Yes, to a degree, because mine was synthetic.
Right.
Because I was over the age of 25. So if I was under 25,
you don't get one.
You do. No, you do.
Oh, you do.
But you can get a real human hair
if you're under 25.
Mm-hmm. And I was 26.
Why is that?
I'm not sure, to be honest. It's just the way it is.
Anybody in government listening? Can you let us know?
I don't think that's fair.
No.
I think everyone deserves a chance to have a real human hair wig.
I think as you're older, you would want it more.
I know, and I think it's disheartening. I think like I said, for me, hair, it wasn't a major thing, but I mean, having a real hair wig would have saved me money, brought back my confidence a lot more, and being like
help recovery.
Exactly.
When we feel better, we get better quicker.
I know, and it's like what you're used to, and at least it's real hair. You can curl it, you can straighten it. It's going to last longer.
Yeah.
You don't want to go through the stress of having synthetic and thinking, what colour am I going to get next? Oh my God, are you going to have the same one in stock? Oh my God, it's looking like, it does start to look awful. Like I've had many of experiences with mine looking
where a wig
really
looks
bad.
like a wig and that
looks
makes
like
you
it's
more
been ran over like 30 times. Like genuinely. So, and I've got to the point now, I just get my scissors and I'm just like, you know, but even that doesn't look great. So
No.
I think I would change that if I could. I think everyone deserves one real human hair wig. Yeah.
How important is it to try on wigs in person rather than buying online? I think you already answered this, really.
Yeah, I think it's good because it's like more personal. You get to see how it feels, and then the sizing of the wig cap, and obviously the sizing of the wig itself.
Are there places we can go to try on wigs and that?
Hairdressers.
Yeah.
There is definitely hairdressers.
Ah, okay. So they can go to their local hairdressers and ask them, maybe?
Yeah, the NHS. I know that obviously if you're through the NHS, I can't say for if you're private, but if you're through the NHS...
It will vary from region, I would have thought,
it would,
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then they should have... I know for me, they had like a list of places you can visit and try on wigs. And that because they're partnerships with them. So I went to hairdressers and it was a very nice experience, you know, and they let me try on whatever I wanted.
Fantastic.
They did, you know, and they didn't have that time restraint for me. They give me that time.
So did you have to pay for that service?
No, it was free.
Whoever did that, thank you.
Yeah, well, exactly, because that's like, you know, a lot of time.
Because it's still time,
they're working. And
and it's an independent as well. They're not being paid by the NHS, they're just stockist.
I'm not too sure how it works. I think so. I think they are stockists in a way, but
so they only get paid if you have the veil, the wig. I'm in wedding mode. Sorry, the veil that I need to order when I get back.
They will get paid for that.
Yeah.
But essentially, that they're not getting paid for the time that they're spending. Helping me try on
providing
wigs.
a service
so they're
and
losing,
time.
Probably,
yeah, exactly.
Money. So I think, and they made me feel just kind of confident because I lost my confidence and I was like, I don't know what I'm looking for here. What am I looking for? I don't even know what length. I don't know what colour. I was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
It being transported, catapulted
into the deep end.
Into the deep end, you know.
And it's a major change.
But it's like us with wedding dresses. We get, we see girls that are buying online and stuff like that. Yeah. And then they're coming into us going, oh no, I bought something online and, you know, but because you have to feel it, you have to touch it and you have to wear it to know if it's your dress.
Yeah, exactly.
We all love things online and stuff like that, but it doesn't necessarily suit us.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily like it on us.
That's true, and photos, like I said, can be deceiving.
Very deceiving.
And they could be fake. You know what I mean? And they could just be totally photoshopped.
I worry now about like the Photoshop and an AI.
Oh my God.
I know,
yeah.
I know. I'm getting sucked in left, right and centre on these videos.
What I would say, I've got one piece of advice. Watch, if you're buying blonde wigs, make sure they're not yellow.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been there. It's happened twice.
Right.
There was this wig and it looked nice and white, like light blonde. One. It came and it was yellow.
Dirty Dolly Parton.
It was yellow, like banana yellow.
We've had loads of questions coming up, obviously out on social media, that we were doing this episode, and because also we're not just from brides but from guys too. We're seeing, loads and loads of girls now losing weight, which they did before, but losing weight in a different way with these injections and pills, and it's rapid loss that is, one of the side effects is that they lose hair. So a lot of girls are finding on the side effects of these pills and these injections, which we're going to do an episode on.
It is scary.
There is hair loss or thinning of the hair, and if girls are doing this just before the wedding, obviously they might be looking for some tips and stuff like that. Halo wigs are good for stuff like sort of thickening out the hair as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But so we had loads of questions come through. So if I'll start off one and then you read one. Shannon, how did you decide before synthetic and real hair wigs? I get overwhelmed by the choices. Again, we probably have answered a lot of these.
I actually have a good answer to this that I didn't say, and it just came to my head.
Give it to us.
Buy a real hair wig.
Okay.
One, because this could last you literally 3 years.
And do you buy it in your normal hair colour that you used to, maybe?
I would, definitely.
Okay. We're fickle creatures, aren't we?
But it's real hair, you can dye it.
Oh, you can dye it?
You can take it to the hairdresser and dye. But why I'm saying this is because I've probably spent more on fake synthetic wigs that haven't lasted very long than what I would off one real hair wig. So I kind of beat myself up a bit about that because I'm like, I could have had one really good wig.
And it's an investment rather than...
It's an investment.
Yeah.
And 100% you can dye it, you can trim it, and it's going to last for a very long time and you're going to save a lot of money, even though it seems pricey to begin with. 800, 900, £1,000. Okay, that's a lot.
It is a
but
lot.
it's going to last. But it's going to last. Do you know what I mean? It's going to last.
And how
a
much
long
are
time.
synthetic wigs?
I'm not being funny. I've spent 250 on a synthetic.
Yeah.
And 200 and 80. It varies. Like probably 50 to like 200 is the generic kind of price for synthetic. But if you think of how many I've bought.
Yeah.
Which I don't even
Did you
want
calculate
to say.
them all up?
Yeah, well, exactly. Maybe 20.
I had a girl in on a couple of weeks ago, and she's thinking about completely changing her hair style and her colour just before the wedding. And I've sort of said,
that's brave.
Don't, because what we you know, again, we're fickle things, aren't we? And I've suggested buying a wig that she thinks online somewhere, just to wear it around the house and stuff, and get used to it. How many times have we cut a fringe and we're like, I'm the one that runs in going, give me a fringe, and in 5 minutes I'm like, oh no.
I know, and then it's like, what's done can't be undone.
Exactly. Well, you can put something in it, but it's like faff in it.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to brides who feel like wearing a wig makes them less authentic on their wedding day? That's a good question, that.
It's a hard question.
Because we're already taking ourselves out of our comfort zone in a dress that, you know, some of these girls don't even wear dresses.
Well, that's true.
You know, they're
it's a big transition, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a hard. I'm like kind of stuck actually to answer that one.
I think buy something that is more you,
more close to what natural.
Yeah,
natural
rather than go like
right. It is too. That'd be too much of a
change.
And that's hard to kind of.
It's hard for people to see that change anyway, because already you know, think about, you've got a wedding dress, your makeup looks different, especially if you don't wear hair, makeup and and dresses and stuff like that.
Definitely get a wig that's the closest to like what you had prior, or like what you would normally go to. Do you know what I mean?
And it depends on your character.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, if you're you know, wacky and wild, then you know, people expect you to be like turning up. Again, I had a friend years back who literally dyed her, I think she had just normal mousy brown hair, and dyed it bright copper red. She looked absolutely wicked. But
I love red hair.
But everybody talked about the hair change in colour rather than her dress, her makeup, and the rest of the day.
So it took away from.
It took it away.
It took away from that, which isn't what we want. No, so I would go back to natural, the kind of what you were. Yeah, as close as
safe.
The safe option.
Safe
100%.
option. Do you want to do one?
Yeah.
Hog the spotlight.
Where do you usually buy your wigs? Online feels risky. I'm scared they won't look like the picture. I kind of.
Yeah.
I literally, I would say
it's like scooting around for a holiday. They all look the same, and you get there and go,
it's a gamble,
this wasn't
though.
right.
It is a gamble, like, because you're essentially, you don't know if it is AI, like we're saying, or photoshopped, or like I said, I thought I bought a blonde wig and it was yellow.
With I mean, obviously if you're buying online, you are protected by law on the distance selling rules. So unless it's been made to your order.
Exactly.
So
like custom
made. Okay. So do check the terms and conditions that you can return, and make sure that you return within the time frame. Checking out the terms and conditions and checking out the law. As well, because if you've got a 30-day return, you've still got to let them know within 7 days that you are returning it, or else they can refuse it. So do check out your legal right. But can you return real hair?
I don't know. I assume so. If it's, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Actually.
Again, check that out.
Yeah, you have to check the regulations. I'm not too sure.
Because it might be like underwear. You know, I won't, on my laundry, I've stopped doing laundry online now because that's another podcast. They definitely didn't get returned for how they went out, put it that way. No. But, you know, hygiene and stuff like that.
Well, I'm just thinking that because, maybe not then. Yeah. You know, because your hair. Yeah. Knits. I was about to say, what if someone had knits?
Yes.
I wouldn't be taking that wig back.
You're going to start scratching it over it, aren't you?
Oh, no, my God. At least I don't have a wig on.
I would definitely check out terms and conditions and that. Do wigs get hot and itchy, and hacks for keeping them comfortable from day to day?
100%.
I printed it off twice.
They get severely itchy. Like, so itchy.
What can we do underneath to can we put Vaseline underneath?
I don't know about that. I mean,
slip.
I think so. You'll end up, with it receding again. You don't want a case of going out and it's like high gale winds and like your wig's like 7 feet behind you.
He's in Dundee.
I've left it back in Dundee. Oh, gee.
Yeah. Can you put anything underneath?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, I always just kind of put the wig cap on, but not have it too... I like to looser wig cap. Sometimes I cut it, so... My tummy's
I think that might have been me. We'll go to the cafe afterwards.
Yeah, we will. I used to cut a little kind of like triangle out of my wig cap so it would loosen because the tightness was really uncomfortable.
Okay, so the tighter it is, the itchy...
Yes, for sure. But also then the wig, when it does get hot, it does get itchy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just...
Well, your skin prickles, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So I used to always get the end of my comb and just like slot it underneath and just... Or I stab my head. Like, it sounds... Like, not hard, but like, you know, the netting, it would slip through the little bits of the net.
I think we could line up all of Wedding Mayhem guests in a line, like a lineup, and people would be able to pick out our guests.
Don't stab your head.
Don't stab your head.
Don't stab your head.
Yeah, there's no way around it.
There's no way around it.
If you are a hairdresser or you know any top tips, like, you know, to answer that question better, let us know, because obviously don't want you stabbing your head. No. How many wigs do you own, and do you give them names? I know who wrote this. It was actually a bride in my shop, and we were talking about, because all our dresses have names. And she saw the episode. I said, funny enough, she's actually in this weekend. She went, does she name her wigs? I went, let's ask the question.
Do you know what? I have, like I said, I probably have about 20 to 30.
Do you?
Yeah,
are they
not now. No.
How do you keep them? Are they in bags, or I would keep them all like in a...
Normally, I used to just shove them on the back of the door. People would walk in thinking, oh my God, what's that? No,
It's a cat.
It would scare the life out of some people. Sometimes I leave it on the sofa.
I'd have a dedicated room with all the heads on little plimps.
I do have heads now.
Do you?
Yeah, well, yeah. My friends were like, it's time to stop, leave them just like hanging on the door frame.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fine.
I mean, so, like,
but it's just so, like, you get back at the end of the night, you take it off, or just put it on a bedside table, or do you know what I mean? But people will get a fright because they think, what is that? Like, you know, if they're not used to...
Were you dating when you were in wig era?
My
reason
I was on the Love Triangle as well, yeah.
Oh, yes, of course.
So I wore all them wigs on the Love Triangle.
So what's it like dating somebody with a wig? You know, do you have to tell them up front? Can you imagine being in bed going, oh, like, my wooshy.
Oops. That wasn't meant to happen. It's okay, it's not
a mood killer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a wee bit unsexy, isn't it? If you're in the moment and all of a sudden, the wig comes off.
That's how rigorous you are being, Shannon. Single, guys, single.
Oh my God. Just don't pull my hair because it's not real. No, I'm joking. I think, what were we speaking about? I got hot and flustered there.
No, dating with wigs.
It's...
Any top tips?
I mean, it's not a big deal. Like, to me, it's not that deep, you know. When I was on the Love Triangle, I dated the first guy, James.
Yeah.
He couldn't tell.
No.
Like, no.
But you told James straight away because it was on,
Lewis.
Yeah.
I seen him looking at my hairline.
Really?
Yeah. And I clocked it but just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And I just thought, he knows this isn't real hair.
But you did it in a way that, because you had your curly hair.
Yeah.
So it looked like it was more of a fashion. If people didn't know your story, it looked like a fashion thing. And, we're finding that people are using wigs now.
Yeah.
Particularly certain cultures will wear wigs.
It's becoming more common now and less kind of like...
People that don't need them are wearing them.
Yeah, because before it would be more a bit different. Like it'd be very like, noticeable, and a wig, it wasn't so great back in the day. We've adapted a lot now. Do you know what I mean? Wigs have come a long way.
And we're more accepted of them.
Exactly. I do remember actually when I first took my wig off in front of James, we were sat on the bed and he patted me like a dog.
What the fuck?
He literally got my head, was like, he was like,
what was the wig on your head?
Yeah, he patted me like a dog with my chemo curls. I took my wig off and it was just, and And do you know what? It was funny, but I can't remember what he said. I don't know if he said, "Oh, here's a good girl." I don't know, but something was said that made me feel like a dog in that moment, and he treated me like a dog. It was funny though. It wasn't like bad. I found the humour in that, and I think.
But also, you're probably awkward as well, and trying to bridge the gap. You know,
it was awkward. But I was sitting there like, how do I even take this? You know, I've never had my head petted before.
Yeah, I have.
Have you? But yeah, well, I have. But yeah, I thought that's important because he made light of that situation for me, and for me,
humour conquers a lot of things.
But it does, and it took away from the seriousness of it and the scariness that it is. It is exposing to take your wig off in front of someone you're dating. You feel naked. You feel like, what will they think? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to fancy me still because they've not seen me with my short chemo curls? And he took it. He handled it. So did Lewis. They both were really, really respectful. Which is the main thing. Respectful towards me, and
because you've just said it. You know, you're in a very vulnerable situation.
It's scary.
It is scary. It is scary. What's the funniest reaction someone has had when you changed your wig style? I mean, you've just said it. Is that the funniest, or is that?
I'm trying to think. I can't really think of anything.
Have you had a reaction when you've turned up and obviously, you know, like, nobody noticed, like, I changed my hair this morning, but somebody's gone, bloody hell, you know. Or...
Do you know what? Yes, actually, I was in for my spinal surgery and I was just getting admitted and I got myself all dolled up. I'm talking like what you'd go on a night out to my spinal surgery.
Yeah.
Don't ask. It's weird.
Yeah, but whatever you have to do to get through it.
Whatever you have to do. So I had my nice brown wig on, a long brown wig. It had 2 pleats there. I had a full face makeup on. I was looking quite good. I felt confident, right? And they're thinking, your wig over a major spinal surgery. Are you okay? I was like, yeah, I was just feeling it.
It's not the women who literally, when they're about to give birth, look like queens.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that.
I definitely look feral. Like, and we know what my kind of feral is now.
Oh my God. But back at the hospital, this one guy was like, he was like the head of the department who looked after me and was like taking me to my scan and getting me kind of, you know, ready for to talk to the surgeons essentially, and then surgery the next day. So he was seeing me all glammed and dolled up. He literally walked me down to the waiting room of the scan, went away, came back. I've been with him all day at this point. Had my wig off because I'm about to go in the scanner, so you can't have a wig on.
Yeah.
Okay. He looked at me like I was an alien because I was looking at him like, hi. I was smiling. He was like, who are you?
Who are you? Yeah.
And walked away, and I thought, bloody rude.
Yeah, he didn't recognise you.
He didn't recognise me. And then I went up to him, I was like, hello. I was like, it's me. And he went, hello.
But this goes back to, like, you know, wigs are our identity.
They are. But then it clocked eventually for him. But this is what I mean. It's identity. And it's like, it's a major change when you've not, like, when you've got a different hair colour, different hairstyle. Do you know, it's different.
We asked at the beginning about personalities. Your personality changes because your appearance changes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, I think it's important that you feel like you.
I think that's the good thing about the wigs. It gives that person back a bit of them that they lost.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, you know, chemo stole it. Yeah. But, you know, it can't ultimately steal them.
No.
You know, it can steal your hair and it can definitely, you know.
I hear a scene out of Braveheart here.
What's this?
Could steal my... I can't find the words.
No, but... Yeah, no, I just watched that not that long ago as well.
Yeah, what is it?
Oh my gosh.
Boss, do you know? You can steal my... So
everyone's about shouting at the...
Yeah, you're all shouting it out, aren't you? You can't steal my country! Go! Oh, dear. And, you know, you don't have to have gone through, you know, I mean, she's done it to the extreme, but stress, menopause,
hormone imbalances, what is it, polycystic ovaries?
Yes.
Anything. Yeah.
Anything.
It likes in stress. What's the other thing we said? Alopecia?
Yeah. Just things that are happening in your life can just make it happen.
Burn victims.
Yeah. So, you know, no matter what you're going through, there is help out there. You know, you're not alone, and, you know, and you can boss it.
100%. Yeah. With or without the wig.
Yeah. If she can do it, anybody can do it.
You heard that.
And if you have any questions, if you need any help, Shannon, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is Shannon Maya Lamb. It's the same with Facebook, YouTube and TikTok. And I would happily get back to your messages if you have any questions regarding ovarian cancer or wigs.
Yeah, pretty important.
I genuinely would love to this is my whole thing is I'd love to help anyone. So if you do want to reach out.
And you know where we are. So if you need to get hold of you, then just message us. Yep. We do read every single one of your messages that come through. We will do more questions from the listeners and your funny stories. Keep those funny stories coming in. I've got a few belters that came in recently. They are absolutely hilarious. But thank you as always for listening. Please hit that subscribe button. It's really important to us as a little community. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.